Hey, Craig, let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
It's a water talk.
It's a coffee talk.
You got a coffee talk. I got a water talk. I got a water bottle. Water bottle.
It's just a prop, Mr. Jason.
That's true. It's just a prop. You don't have your actual coffee.
Nah.
Where's your monster?
Too
Did you
late.
have 17 today?
Number 3. That's it. I'm calling it at 3. It starts to get uncomfortable.
Well, I want to talk to you about 2 phrases that we've always heard that I think are the most important to live by.
Okay, I'm down.
Do you want to hear them, Mr. Craig?
Let's go with number 1.
Okay, number 1. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
That's a true story.
Now, the reason why I think this one is so important is because it's kind of like you can relate it to anything, but let's go to leads, right? When we're calling, well, if you call 20 to 30 times for every lead, you're going to have your best chance of actually contacting them.
How about 100 times?
100 times, and then you got your email sequence. If you're doing your own thing, indie world, then you probably use text too. Which means if you have 1 million touch points, like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 with text and emails and all this stuff, dude, you're going to get a hold of these people.
Yeah.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah. And whether the grease is don't ever call me or the grease is, okay, fine. I mean, that's what you want. You need a result, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's the only way we got our wives.
But you relate it to anything. I remember, so when I was jobless for a long time and I really wanted this one job and I was in a weird point in my life, I ended up calling them 17 times and I kept bugging. I kept bugging to talk to the manager and the owner, and I just kept in, and they didn't hire anyone since they first opened. I was their next hire and I'd had no experience, but they were like, this guy's either absolutely insane or I think he might work hard.
I think you work hard. That's why that squeaky wheel, when they're calling the agency, like you would do interviews, if they don't call to check, I don't want to bring them on. Right?
Right.
You don't want to chase after, for sales, maybe service might be a different thing because they're just not going to do that. But for sales, you've got to have them come after you.
Yep.
Because if they're not going to come after you, are they going to come after the leads that you're spending all that money on?
Right. And most people just don't do that stuff.
No.
Most people don't go like, oh, I tried to get a hold of this person. And they call them once. Or I tried to get that job. They called. What was it? Weren't able to talk to the manager. Right. Called again. I wasn't able to talk to him. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
So if you're not in the insurance business and you're looking to get into the insurance business and you went for an interview, this is the piece of advice. Call them until they answer and tell you, no, you don't get the job. But I bet you, if you call 17 times, you're going to get it.
100%.
Shoot, call my agency 17 times. I'll probably get a job.
Right. That's the thing, man. If you keep trying, like the people that keep trying and that don't care about failing, because failing is definitely a part of winning.
Yeah.
Then just keep failing and you'll succeed.
Right. When you were building up your teleteam and the creating sales scripts and all of these things, did you ever fail?
Oh, horribly.
Right?
Yeah.
You kept after it. You were the squeaky wheel to that process.
Yep.
Persistence.
What's the other phrase, Mr. Craig?
Oh, that I don't know. If the car is a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It is the early bird gets the worm.
That too. That was my next guess.
How many times do we procrastinate on stuff, right? We just talked to somebody the other day that was crushing it with leads.
Yeah.
And if you heard the episode already, then you know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to spoil it. But he was saying that, he was writing like $50,000 a year and spending only $500 a month. And now in hindsight, he wished, if I could spend $500 to write 50,000. Why didn't I 10x that? Why didn't I just keep going?
That little voice in the head stops you.
Right. And now it costs a lot more than that for him to close the business. But going back to the early bird gets the worm is jumping on things right away.
Yeah.
Like handling it. You know what I mean? Like as soon as something comes up, boom, do it.
Yeah.
And both those phrases, I think, go along with each other.
Right.
Because if you're the noisiest, you're going to get the most attention.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, with the squeaky wheel thing, most people don't want to handle stuff. Like if you're calling customer service.
I don't want to bother anybody.
Have you ever called? Yeah. Have you ever called customer service and you just keep on them and they're like, fine, fine, I'll send you to my manager. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, you'll get a free meal then. Like, you know what I mean? Like companies are designed to go above and beyond for the squeaky wheel.
Right. I'm not going to be rude or be a pain in the butt, but if there was some injustice in any situation, they're going to realize that I'm not going away until it gets fixed.
Right.
And I'm going to be as nice as possible. Sometimes I do get frustrated, and I apologize to anybody that has had to endure that. But yeah, I mean, you just, once somebody understands, so to put this into the insurance sales perspective, if somebody on the other end of that phone realizes that you are not going to give up, then they're going to again, it's going to be a result. They're either going to pick up the phone and say, don't ever call me, or they're going to say, okay, fine. Right.
Yeah. And then with the early, like, that's why I like those two phrases, because honestly, doers, most people just aren't doers. Oh, I could have done that. I should have done that. If this happens, then I'll do that.
Yeah.
You know, and then you look at people that are just doers and they'll just do whatever it takes. And then they're usually successful. They get beat up the most, right?
Yeah.
You get beat up the most because they're constantly doing, and not everything's going to work out. Actually, a lot of stuff is not going to work out.
Most of it's not, probably.
But they're going to fail, win, fail, win.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm watching this super cool series. I think it's on the History Channel, The Men Who Built America, The Food That Built America. And now they have the
people who built America.
Now they have the Titans that built America, or I think it's the Titans. But it's so cool. And you look at somebody like the Kraft guy. You got to watch it, dude. You'll love it. I swear. It's so good. Anybody that likes business. I mean, if they taught this in school, game changer. But anyways, like the guy that
teach
the
the important
guy.
Stuff.
Right. The guy who built Kraft cheese. An industry
cheese and macaroni?
Right. So cheese was unchanged for thousands of years or whatever. Cheese has always been something that's kind of sought after. Well, he decided, you know what? This can be done differently. And he spent years on trying to develop a new way to do cheese because he just believed in it. And honestly, dude was a little off his rocker. Yeah. And if you look at all the titans in America, or the ones that the people that like changed the game, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, and all this stuff, they're off their rocker.
Yeah, you're off your rocker, Mr. Jason.
Yeah, I know that. But here's the thing: like Edison. Tons of failures, right? But as soon as that one thing works,
yes,
it changes from lunatic into genius.
Right. What's a light bulb goes off.
Yeah, a light bulb goes. That's right, Mr. Craig.
Yes.
Sounds like a light bulb just went off over there.
Yes.
But isn't that funny? And that's what I was telling my wife. Isn't that funny that you go from it's these people that are crazy, like Steve Jobs, the crazy ones, right? That whole.
Yeah, everybody will try to talk you out of doing it too.
Because it's not normal.
You're crazy. Why would you do that? Oh, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, even now I can safely say this because our wives don't listen to this, but I remember when we started the podcast, like, why are you wasting your time with that? Like, that's what mine would always say.
100% still does not want me to do it.
Yeah, I cannot talk about the podcast or Teledudes or Daily Drills or anything at home, like very, very small bursts.
Right.
I have to, but I get to hear about. Never mind.
Right. I know where you're going.
Just in case. I do have an interesting story that involves my wife about procrastination, though. And I will know when she's procrastinating when she does something like organize the spice cabinet. Like if she's doing some like weird thing, then I know that, oh, do you have a deadline or something? Yes. Oh yeah, I'm organizing the spice cabinet, like some weird thing that would never get done.
And
that'll happen.
We all do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You go through your day. This can happen hardcore in an agency. It's like at the end of the day, you realize, well, you had to help Sam and you had to help Sarah with their policies because something happened with their policy, and you got to get it done. When in reality, man, you could have you could have given it to somebody else, and maybe you take one extra day or something like that. But then it's like you're not moving the needle on your ultimate goal.
Yeah,
moves the needle.
Well, we did it last week. Remember, we were supposed to be taping the new webinar, and we had to get it done. And in fact, when we did get it done, then we lost an hour of it because the computer crashed. But instead, Jason says, we need to organize the hard drive. So instead of using the time to finish the webinar that we had to finish, we're in here organizing the files in the hard drive.
They're literally doing the same thing your wife did. Yes. But I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Like we were very aware of what was going on.
Yes.
And that's why we crushed it the next day.
Well, but then we really had to. Like it was.
Sometimes you got to do that. Like honestly, I don't know if we could have moved on much more.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of like defragging the hard drive. For Mac users, you won't know what that is, but on a PC, because they don't work well, what happens is you have to like decompress the hard drive. So maybe doing that, procrastinating the way that we did, it was kind of like defragging because it was mindless, and it did have to get done. But on the list of priorities, probably not the highest, but it was easy. Well, actually, it wasn't easy, but we could methodically kind of move stuff around and didn't require a lot of brain power. But then we overthought that.
Let's organize this episode.
Yes.
Let's say this. Okay, so you have the Titans, right? Uh-huh. The crazy people. They're crazy enough to do things differently.
Yes.
But they're also doers.
Yes.
They are the early birds that get the worm. They're the ones that, no matter what, they're going to do it. They're also the squeaky wheels. That's the reason why those things happen. And then I think when it comes to organization, you got to organize top priorities first so that you're not doing the stupid stuff. So organizing, making sure that the stuff that you're doing and that you're being the early bird on are the things that are the most important. And I think if you take the time to organize that, then you use the mantra of that you're going to be the early bird, that you're going to be the squeaky wheel, no matter what. I think that's the recipe for success.
That squeaky wheel also speaks to consistency, right? Consistency and persistency, which we talk about with consistency. We talk about that.
And I won't resistancy that at all.
Resistancy.
And that's
a coffee talk.
A coffee talk.
Thank you. And by the way, if you happen to be listening on iTunes or Spotify or iHeartRadio or Stitcher or any of these places, Amazon, it's even on the thing in my car. It says it, Insurance Dudes, but I don't like that platform. All you got to do is push the little box that's right next to the picture of Jason and I. It says follow or it says subscribe. You just go ahead and you smash that. Smash it or touch it. And voila, what will pop into your phone on a consistent basis, because we're talking about consistency. On Mondays, you're going to get what? You're going to get a coffee talk. On Tuesdays, you're going to get an interview. On Wednesdays, you're going to get the second half of the interview. On Thursdays, we don't even know what they're putting in there, but it's some kind of magic. And then on Fridays, yet another coffee talk. That's one episode a day that you can put into your ear while you're driving to work or while you're driving home.
Or you can put it in your nose.
Why not?
Or your eyes.
Like
your eyes on YouTube. You can put it in your eyes on YouTube.
Put it in your eyes on YouTube. We don't have a smell delivery mechanism yet, and you probably don't want it. It's in development. It's needed. That's a coffee talk. It'll smell like coffee. Thanks, guys. We appreciate all the listeners, and we love it. The messages we get and the emails. So thank you so much.
Yep.
And
thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. Bye.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to do write 100,000 in premium
Yes.
Off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes, it's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.